Now joining me to discuss TikTok and WeChat is Ray Wang. He's the principal analyst and founder of Constellation Research. So, Ray, this may be the toughest question I've ever given you on this broadcast. Can you make sense of this deal? Because it seems ByteDance says this is what the deal looks like. Oracle says it looks another way, and then you have Donald Trump saying, if I don't get it my way, there's no deal.
It is a very complicated deal, Mike. And I think part of the thing is there's ownership, and there's also voting control in play, and there's also data sovereignty all in one place. And I think there's three different interpretations that are going on at the moment. So the question is, there's 20% ownership between Oracle and Walmart, plus there's also General Atlantic and Sequoia. And it might be in a case where there are deal terms that say ownership of the number of shares do not equate to the same amount of voting rights. And so I think that's one that has to be dissected. The second piece in place is really thinking about data ownership, and that's pretty clear. The data is going to reside in Oracle servers, and Oracle is going to provide the security and the data and the cloud capabilities. And that part is pretty clear. That's probably the only clear part of the deal that has been agreed upon by all different factions. Now, the last part, which is a little bit different, which is who's got total ownership in terms of the future decisions, well, we still have to have Chinese approval, and we also have to make sure that all three parties are in agreement. And I think that's where the flux is right now, Mike.
You said Chinese approval, and I guess that's the other piece of this. The U.S. and China regulators could still get involved and trip things up as well, right?
Yes, there's one more layer where the U.S. regulators and the Chinese regulators have to agree. Donald Trump has to feel comfortable, and the president has to feel comfortable that the security measures are being taken. I think he believes Oracle has that in play. And the Chinese have to believe that their algorithms are not at risk and that they're in control. And so I think that's where the focus of the tension is going to be.
And Oracle and Walmart appear to be the winners if all of this shakes out the way it's supposed to. What do they get out of this?
So this is a very interesting deal because it's one of the rare opportunities to jump into social media and digital advertising. And what Oracle and Walmart get out of it is a chance to compete against Google, Facebook, and Amazon for digital ad revenue. And of course, Oracle wants to build out its cloud computing capabilities. And what better than video and a fast-growing social media network with the digital ad network? And that's what's at play here.
So does it change the landscape then? I mean, look into your crystal ball. What do things look like a couple years from now, 5 years from now?
It does change the landscape. If you think about this is a battle of digital giants, and what you want is the largest number of users. You want to make sure the users are completely engaged, and short videos do that. That allows you to create an advertising network, which Walmart wants to be able to participate in because Amazon is starting to build its own advertising network, and Google and Facebook have been dominating digital ads in the US market. So it improves competition, and it also creates 25,000 jobs in the US, allegedly. We'll see what the details are.
And Ray, it seems that the TikTok fight is just another chapter in this frosty China-US relations. So where are relations right now? And also, what do you see happening with WeChat?
So the bottom line is that U.S. companies cannot compete in China. Google can't operate, Facebook can't operate, Amazon can't operate. And what we've been doing is bifurcating the internet between China and the U.S. And this is just another piece of that in the negotiations that are going on. And so companies like WeChat, companies like Alibaba, companies like Apple are going to get caught in the crosshairs until we decide whether we're going to open up the internet for everyone to be free in there, or we're going to create country-specific internets all over the world. And I think we're headed towards more nationalism with how internet and digital commerce is moving.
We know that the relationship between the U.S. and China has really been quite fractured under the Trump administration. After the election, do you see things changing at all if Trump's reelected or if Biden becomes the president?
One of the interesting things in D.C., as you know, is that China is the one thing both parties actually agree on in terms of how to work with China going forward. There's a unified approach in terms of saying we have to have a free and a fair market from the U.S. point of view. And the Chinese point of view is we're opening up our markets to the people that actually have the same viewpoints that we have in terms of how we want to operate, in terms of a democracy, in terms of capitalism, in terms of their approach to government. And I think this conflict is going to continue for the next 40 to 50 years.
Short period of time, in other words. Ray Wang, thank you so much. Appreciate your time. Thank you.